Welcome to the Jungle is Bollywood's answer to Tropic Thunder. Sadly, it forgets what made the actual film memorable. And if this is the third installment of the hit Welcome franchise, it is the weakest among the lot. Let's talk about this disaster of a movie. Put in your earphones, this is going to be a long one. Let's talk about it beyond the reel. This movie is directed by Ahmed Khan, who had previously directed Heropanti 2, Baghi 2, and Baghi 3. Now, what boggles my mind is why would producers trust him with such a large scale project? He may be an excellent choreographer, but direction is not his strongest suit. The screenplay is completely scattered, the jokes don't land at all, the execution of the story completely fails. It tries to be meta, but it doesn't succeed at all. The dialogues are written by Farhad Samji. Unfortunately, the humor rarely lands. He's very outdated in his dialogues, in his jokes. He really needs to update himself. If this being the case, I really don't know what is going to happen with Hera Fairy 3, as he is the writer of that movie as well. Ironically, the story itself is written by the late Neeraj Vora, who has given us humongous comedy classics in the past, which we hold near and dear to even to this very day. Sadly, I think it's the execution here of the story where it fails, because on paper it might sound entertaining and funny, but the execution fails a lot. And on a personal opinion, I do think there has been significant changes to his original story. Akshay Kumar is the saving grace of the movie. He lifts the movie on his shoulders, but even his effort isn't enough to save this disaster of a movie. Suniel Shetty and Arshad Warsi feel like weak replacements of Uday Shetty and Majnu Bhai from the first two Welcome movies, which was played by Nana Patekar and Anil Kapoor respectively. We can see the lack of creativity in the characters itself when Sunil Shetty himself is known as Yeda Anna, which is a callback to Avara Pagal Divana, while Arshad Warsi is just playing an extension of his Golmaal character. Sunil Shetty does look great in this movie, but other than that, he is cringe. Both are cringe to watch in this movie. So, definitely one of the weaker performances throughout the movie. Disha Patni and Jacqueline Fernandez exist in this movie just for the sake of glamour and nothing much. Their act or their roles do not have any importance as far as the narrative is concerned. Paresh Rawal, Rajpal Yadav, Shreyas Talpade, Krishna Abhishek and Kiku Sharda, along with the great Johnny Lever, who have great comic timing but are utilized here in a very lackluster way. Their jokes rarely land. Kiku Sharda, for example, is the butt of all the fat jokes, most of the jokes by Krishna himself. So it is just an extension of the Kapil Sharma show's character. Among the supporting cast, we have Ravina Tandon, Aftab Shivdesani and Tushar Kapoor as well, wherein Ravina Tandon's character does have a few important scenes. Apart from that, Tushar Kapoor is just there, who is accompanying Akshay Kumar throughout the movie, but none of the other characters have exactly much of a role in the movie at all. They mostly feel like cameos, especially as is the case of Lara Datta, who actually disappears after a certain point of time in the movie. Farida Jalal and Kiran Kumar have the funniest stretch in the movie, but even that joke overstays its welcome. As for the antagonist, we have Jackie Shroff playing the role of Zatara, accompanied by Vindudara Singh's character. Sadly, both of them don't feel intimidating at all to justify the stakes. The biggest disappointment is not that these actors can't act, rather, it is the disappointment that having such a talented cast is laid to waste in this mess of a movie. The visuals and VFX don't help either. The scenes look flat, and it is evident that many of the scenes are shot on a green screen. The only scene which look polished enough are the ones which has been assisted or made through the use of AI. The music in this movie is serviceable at best, but really forgettable. It tries to remake some of the classic welcome movie songs, but it doesn't work. So it's serviceable, it's good, you can listen to it, but it's forgettable. Overall, with the massive budget and the stars present, the technical presentation or the execution of the movie just doesn't justify the scale with which it is shot in. It goes haywire. At least the first half is bearable, but the second half is totally bonkers and it doesn't make sense. The central premise revolves around the character of Sinha, played by Zakir Hussain, who produces an absurd 2000 crore movie to evade tax investigation by ensuring that this movie becomes a colossal flop. The crew eventually lands in a village inside POK, which is controlled by terrorists, and how they escape from that place and what happens eventually is the premise of the whole movie. And these two are entirely different plots. These two feel like two entirely different plots, and by the end of the movie it becomes into a patriotic rescue mission. On paper, this absurd premise might have worked, but in execution it becomes exhausting because it has various things to focus upon and it doesn't focus upon any of these things entirely, like patriotic action, social commentary, meta comedy, slapstick humor, tax evasion satire, so on and so forth. So many things at once made it a porridge of sorts. The emotional core of the movie lies with Zoya, who is played by Raveena Tandon, along with her daughter, because of whom the other half of the crew, that is, which includes Akshay Kumar, return back to save the villagers from Zatara and eventually return these people back to our country. The biggest issue is tonal confusion. The movie focuses upon many things at once, and that is why it has an identity crisis. Unlike the first part, the first Welcome movie knew precisely what it wanted to be. It had a simple, straight storyline with multiple plot points, and that is why it worked. Once the credits roll, you're left with far more questions than memories. First of which would be, where is the jungle exactly? There is no jungle in the movie. There are just open fields. There is just one chimpanzee who is roaming here and there. There is no jungle at all. Second would be, where is Lara Datta's character? She just comes to train the people, the crew, and she just randomly disappears. Where did she go? Where is she? She's not there throughout the movie. She's more like a cameo. Thirdly would be, how does this film crew exactly cross over to POK without coming under the radar of the Air Force or the BSF or the military? It seems they casually go into that village, casually go into POK without any kind of permissions, without any kind of restrictions. Since when does the army directly control the Indian Air Force or Navy in assisting with rescue missions? Since when does this happen? Isn't there a chain of command? We are not shown that. This shows the lack of knowledge the director or the one who's handling the story has. They are entirely clueless as to what protocol really is. One more important question would be, at the climax, we see the whole village heading towards the border to come into India. Now, why aren't the BSF screening these people? Can't there be a possibility of infiltrators? There might be, but there's no screening. It's just happening. No rhyme, no reason. Anything is happening. Now, perhaps the biggest question is, why am I trying to find a logic in this movie? There's no logic. There is no brains used in the story of the movie, used in the dialogues of the movie. Actors are doing whatever they want to do in this movie. It's just a massive nostalgia bait for the people, and there is nothing much in this movie at all. As far as the rewatch value is concerned, there is absolutely none. You don't need to experience this at all not in theaters, not on OTT. If you're craving a welcome film, rather watch the 2007 film. At least there you have a story, at least there you could laugh out loud. But here, nothing happens. It's a total missed opportunity. Ironically, the most interesting aspect of the film was the tax evasion aspect. They could have used that and made it as a comedy of errors and made it into something that could have worked. Instead, they chose the generic way and they just made it into a mess. They went into the patriotic route. I don't know why, but maybe that is more important than focusing upon the ones who actually loot the country. On the Beyond the Real After Impact scale, this movie earns a 1.5 out of 5. That 0.5 is for Akshay Kumar's efforts through the movie. Hopefully, he chooses better scripts in the coming days. If you enjoy film conversations that go deeper than hype, then subscribe to Beyond the Reel. If you like the video, click on the like button and share the video as well. If you have any suggestions or any series or movies which you would like me to review or have a deeper dive into, please mention that in the comment section down below.